What's up, guys? Hope everybody had a good holidays and Happy New Year's and all of that good stuff. Obviously, everything around here's been kind of slow. Just been taking the last 2 weeks off, trying to take it kind of easy just around the holidays and everything. So I hope you guys got to do the same with your life, and it's always good to take a quick break and then just refresh and start out the new year strong. So there's been some updates I'm going to quickly go over, and then I'm going to go into some things that I'm doing to prep for 2016. I kind of switched up my training schedule. I am going to still go to Asymmetric Solutions at some point this year. There's a couple classes there that I really want to take, but I have since then I've decided I'm going to buy a I'm gonna do some more training at Technical Response rather than going to Asymmetric Solutions so much. So I have purchased in January, I think it's January 27th, something like that. I'll put the actual dates down in the description below. But in January I have a fighting pistol class. In March I have another fighting pistol class. And then in June I have a active shooter class. And I think Standing on Second will be joining me at the active shooter class in June. So I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't come slap me if I'm wrong on that one, but we're gonna try to get him out there for that. So look forward to the videos on that and all the good stuff that comes with that. I've got the one class in January. It's coming up, just at the end of this month. So that'll be fun. But the purpose of the video I want to do today is I want to, since it is a New Year's, I want to talk about a checklist that I'm going to create for myself of things I'm just going to go through and check and make sure everything is ready for the new year. So like I'm going to put the first thing on the checklist, I'm going to put new batteries. I've just ordered them. I'm going to put new batteries in my aim point. I do that at the beginning of the year, even though the batteries will exceed a year. I'm just going to do that anyways. So new batteries in my aim point. I'm going to take all my mags apart and kind of run the springs through some soapy water and just make sure they get all cleaned up and nice, and put those back together and clean out the inside of the magazines. I'm actually going to show you how to take apart right now. I'm going to show you how to take apart AR15 PMAGs and Glock 17, or Glock 19, I'm sorry, but all the mags should be the same. Show you how to take those apart. And so you can do that with yourself. And then I'm actually, normally I would be replacing the batteries in my ear Pro, but I'm getting all new ones because they've been kind of just, they're 3 years old, so they well exceeded the money I spent on them, and they've just been not doing so good the last couple times. They've got a short or something, so I'm just getting new ones. And then that's pretty much it. If I can think of anything else that I'm going to be doing as I sit here and show you how to do the mags, we'll go over all that. But basically the point is, it's a new year. Just get all your gear out, do a check on it, make sure it's all good still, and clean and oil and lube everything that doesn't regularly get clean oil and lube. Pull out your bolt in any of your rifles and just give it a good look down. Make sure there's no cracks in it where there shouldn't be, and all that good stuff, and get ready for the new year. I'm going to be taking, like I said, I'm taking the fighting pistol twice. Those are the first two classes I'm taking this year. I'm going to really focus on my pistol skills. I actually have been kind of slacking just in general in shooting here lately. I went out shooting yesterday, and I was hitting just at 25 yards. I was hitting not that great. I was kind of pulling, the normal low left type thing like a right-hander shooter would do. So that was actually really disappointing. I was pretty upset with myself that I haven't practiced in so long that I let it get to that. So I'm gonna really be focusing in on that and honing it in. Go out and just, again, as a new year thing, checking all your systems. Check yourself. Make sure that that if you have been lazy, make sure that you can still run that mile, or you can do whatever you need to do. By the way, I can't run a mile because I'm lazy. But I'm going to quickly show you how to take apart these magazines. And again, I hope everybody had a good New Year's. Okay, so something else I wanted to quickly mention while I unload this magazine is something I'll also be checking is all of my screws in my holsters and stuff like that. So like these screws, like you can actually even tell with this, it needs it. But I'm just gonna make sure they're all still tight. Loctite them up, all that kind of stuff. So just go through your gear and just make sure everything's squared away is my point. So to break down the Glock mag, and this should be the same with every Glock mag, there's a pin, you can see it right there. The first thing you need to do is find your multi-tool. And of course the multi-tool is right here in front of my face. So the first thing you need to do is actually push that pin in. And for me it just keeps flipping out, but you'll kind of understand what that pin is a little bit better here in a minute. But as long as it's not in the hole, you're good. So once you've got your pin pushed, next there's some little pressure tabs on the side. You need to push those in. Now you don't actually need a vise, but I like to use a vise just because it makes it easier for me. So what I'm gonna do is I just set it in the vise, clamp it where it holds it, and it's actually pushing those pressure pads for me, pressure locks. Now I'm going to use my multi-tool, and there's a lip right here, and you just need to you just need to put pressure on the locks and then push that lip off. So you're just gonna, it's gonna slide off this way. Oh, my vise is falling apart. That's not good. Not good. Vise falling apart. My vise is actually coming apart over here. I'm gonna have to fix that here in a minute. But so again, what I'm doing is I'm just banging on this lip right here. I'm gonna try to get it to slide off. I'm trying not to bang it too hard because I don't want it to just fly off and the spring come out. Here we go. Okay, so you can see it's partially off. Now basically you're gonna want to hold your finger right here because the spring has a lot of tension, and you just pull it off the end. Okay, so take the plate off. Underneath that bottom plate there's this plate, which is actually that pin that was holding it in. So it just sits right there. When I push the pin in, it always seems to flop sideways. So that's why I was saying it kind of freaks out. But as long as the pin's not in there, it's fine, and you can correct it back whenever you put it back together. So now you just pull those base pads off and you got your slide out. Now again, you don't need a vise, you don't need to use the hammer, you don't need to use that the multi-tool as a punch. Like I said, it just makes it all easier if you can do that. So what it would look like if you were to not use that is something like this. You're just gonna, if I can even put this thing back together, you're just gonna kind of hold it, squeeze it real tight, and just push that off the side. So you should be good if you can do that. All right, now I'm gonna finish up my Glock, taking apart my Glock mags, and I'll move on to the PMAGs for the AR. Okay, so that's the Glock mags, and here in a minute I'll just quickly go over how I'm gonna clean these. It's not really anything super fancy, but if you thought that was pretty easy, wait till you see a PMAG. So there's a little pin right there. Take your punch, push it in, push off the base plate just by pushing forward. That's literally it. Bam, done. It's that easy. For an AK PMAG, punch right there, it actually pushes off backwards rather than forwards on like the AR. But just push in the button, push off the base plate. Woo! That's what I was saying. Be careful about. But as you can see, the PMAGs are really simple, and that's not really surprising considering how badass how badass of a company Magpul is. Pretty much all their shit is really intuitive. So yeah, and actually it's funny because I was looking through my mags earlier today and I realized every single one of the mags I own except for my Glock magazines, and I actually just ordered 3 more of those PMAG Glock magazines. They're all Magpul, so I guess you could say I'm a fanboy of their magazines. But that's how you do the PMAGs, AK and AR, and also your Glock mags. Now I'll quickly go over how I'm gonna clean these. Okay, so how I'm actually gonna go about cleaning those magazines is I'm going to I've got all the Glock magazines, springs, base plates, all that. I've got that just inside this bowl right here, which is actually a dog food bowl. So I'm going to, I'm going to actually just let those sit in soapy water and just kind of let it sit there for a while and then just kind of brush it off. And I'll do the same thing for all the magazine mags. Just let them soak, or I'm sorry, springs, all the magazine springs. I'll just, even the rifle magazines and all those, just let them sit in some soapy water, let them soak in that, and then just rinse it off real good and then put them back together. You don't have, it's not really like, you don't have to get any carbon off or anything like that, so there's no needed COP or anything like that. You don't need any lube. In fact, now this is just what my opinion on it, and this could be wrong or not. I've never really looked into if you should lube your magazines or not, but I don't think that you should lube the springs, because I would think that that would collect dust in the springs. If you know more about that, let me know, but just the way I understand everything, I think that the springs don't need lube because it's not metal rubbing on metal, so that wouldn't need lube. But the lube would collect dust and debris from the ground and dirt and all that, so it would just cause magazine failures, which you wouldn't need. So that's my opinion on it. I'm not going to lube my springs. You do what you need to do, because like I said, I've never looked into that. I've never asked anyone's opinion on that or anything, so I don't know the you know, the gun guy, the professional gun guy answer to that question. But so thanks for watching, guys. I just want to remind you about the website babtactical.com. I just updated the video of the month on the front page, so go check that out. It's a good video from Mr. Guns and Gear about shooting steel, so go check that out. If you haven't seen his channel, go check his channel out, because he's got some good information on there. Don't forget about my good friend Standing on Second. Again, he's got some good information, and he's coming back from the holidays here soon as well, so expect everything to be ramping up as normal here soon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.